that the demands of being both mother and father wore me down at times. That night, exhaustion 0.51151 seconds had set in early, and I barely had the energy to change into my pajamas before collapsing into bed. The house was 0.59559 seconds quiet. Jimmy had G'd bed a few hours earlier after a night of video games and homework, and I felt relieved to have a moment of solitude. My room was dark, 1:101 minute, 10 seconds, except for the faint glow of the moonlight that filtered Ed through the thin curtains. I pulled the blanket up to my chin, sinking into the warmth and 191 minute, 19 seconds comfort of my bed as I lay in bed. The soft glow of the moon casting faint shadows on the walls. My body curled 271 minute, 27 seconds beneath the covers as I was thinking about life. It had been peaceful lately, 3:21 minute, 32 seconds, which was a relief after everything that had happened in the past year. Himi and I had been through a lot together. After 1:401 minute, 40 seconds his father left. It had just been the two of us figuring out life on our own terms. Evan Bo Jaime was almost 1.471 minute, 47 seconds years old. Now we still shared a close bond. He walled away thoughtful, always caring, and sometimes I wondered if he, 1.541 minute, 54 seconds took on too. Much responsibility for a boy his age. I smiled softly at the thought of him. He had such a big heart. 2.32 minutes, 3 seconds. I felt lucky to him in my life. But tonight, I was too tired to think much about anything. Me eyes were heavy, my 112 minutes, 11 seconds body relaxed, and I was ready to surrender to sleep when I heard a soft knock on my bedroom door. I stirred 182 minutes, 18 seconds, groggy, half dreaming as a listen. The knock came again, gentle but insistent, pulling me out of the haze. Off sleep, 252 minutes, 25 seconds. Mom Jim's voice was barely a whisper, 282 minutes, 28 seconds, but it was enough to wake me fully. I blink a train to focus and glance toward the door. The light in the 352 minutes, 35 seconds hallway was dim, casting a faint outline of Jaime standing in the doorway. I propped myself up on my elbows, blinking 2.432 minutes, 43 seconds, away the sleep, Jamie. What's wrong? I asked. My voice thick with drowsiness. 2.482 minutes, 48 seconds. He hesitated for a moment before stepping inside the room, closing the door. Quietly behind him, there was something about the way he moved. So 2.572 minutes, 2:57 seconds, tentative, as if he wasn't sure whether he should be there at all. I couldn't sleep, he said softly, avoiding my gaze. 3:53 minutes, 5 seconds as he stood by the foot of the bed. I felt a pang of concern. Jimmy had been having trouble sleeping for a while now. 3.133 minutes, 13 seconds. Ever since the divorce, he never said. I too trait, but I knew he struggled with the changes in our lives. His father's 213 minutes, 21 seconds absence had hit him harder than he let on. And sometimes on nights like this, I could see the weight of it in his eyes. 3:93 minutes, 32 seconds. Come here, I said, gently patting the space beside me. You can stay with me tonight if you want. He hesitated again. 373 minutes, 37 seconds, just for a moment before walking over and climbing into bed next to me. He lay on his side facing men for the first 3 minutes, 44 seconds time. I saw the weariness in his expression. There was something else too. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Something that flickered behind his eyes. A quiet vulnerability that he didn't show very often. Do you want to talk about it? Eyes keeping my voice. 4:04 minutes. Low. Jimmy shook his head, his dark hair falling into his eyes now. I just wanted to be close to you. My heart softened. It 4:84 minutes, 8 seconds. Had been a long time since Jimmy had come to me. Like if this seeking comfort the way he used to when he was younger. 154 minutes, 15 seconds. I reached out, brushing the hair back from his forehead, and smiled softly. 194 minutes, 19 seconds. That's okay, I whispered. You can't say as long as you need. He smiled back, for 244 minutes, 24 seconds, but there was still that flicker of off something deeper in his eyes, something he wasn't ready to say yet. I didn't, for 314 minutes, 31 seconds, push him. Instead, I lay back, pulling the blanket up over both of us, and let the seance settle around us for a while. 394 minutes, 43 seconds. We just lay there, the quiet of the room wrapping. You sinned embrace. Chaime's breathing began to slow, becoming 4.464 minutes, 46 seconds deepened even, and I thought he had fallen asleep. But then in the softest voice has spoke again. Mom, do you ever for 544 minutes, 454 seconds miss him? The question caught me off guard. Booty didn't need to ask who he meant. I knew Hemi was talking about his 15 minutes, 1 second father. It was a question I've been avoiding for a long time, one I wasn't sure how to answer. I do sometimes. I 95 minutes, 9 seconds, admitted my voice just as soft, but things weren't good between us. Jamie, 145 minutes, 14 seconds, you know that Hinata, but his eyes remained focused on me, waiting for more. Do you ever think things could 15 minutes, 21 seconds have been different? I sighed, my heart heavy with the weight of the past, 55 minutes, 25 seconds, maybe. But what can change what happened? All we can do is move forward. 95 minutes, 29 seconds. Jimmy looked down, his fingers playing with the edge of the blanket. I guess I just wonder if I could have done something different. If maybe 85 minutes, 38 seconds. I had been better. His words hit me like a punch to the gut, and I sat up, turning to face him fully. Jamie, no, you didn't. 65 minutes, 5:46 seconds to anything wrong. None of this was your fault, but sometimes it feels like it is. He whispered, his voice barely audible, like if I had just been better. 65 minutes, 5:56 seconds, maybe. Dad wouldn't have left tears welled up in my eyes, and I reached out, 6 minutes, pulling him into my arms. He resisted for a moment, but then let himself relax into the embrace, burying his face 86 minutes, 8 seconds, in my shoulder. Jaime, listen to me, I said, my voice trembling. Your dad's leaving had nothing to do with you. He 166 minutes, 16 seconds made his choices, and those choices were not your responsibility. You've always been more than enough. 6.26 minutes, 22 seconds. Okay, you're my everything. He nodded against my shoulder, but I could feel the tension in his body had been carrying this weight for too long. And I 316 minutes, 31 seconds hadn't realized just how deeply it had affected him. We stayed like that for a while, just holding each other. And 396 minutes, 39 seconds, slowly I felt the tension began to ease, breathing became steadier. And after a few minutes, I couldn't. He was drifting 6.476 minutes, 47 seconds off to sleep. I stayed awake, though, my mind racing with thoughts of the past. 6,526 minutes, 52 seconds of all the things we had both been through. But there was something else to something I had expected. As I held 6,596 minutes, 6:59 seconds Jaime close, I felt a warmth spread through me. Not just the warmth of a mother's love for her son, but something 7,067 minutes, 7 seconds deeper, something more. It was a feeling I couldn't quite name, something that both comforted and unsettled me at the same time. I tried to push it away, 177 minutes, 17 seconds, tried to focus on the steady rhythm of Jaime's breathing, but the feeling lingered, hovering just beneath the surface, waiting for me to acknowledge it. 287 minutes, 28 seconds. And as I lay there in the darkness, 307 minutes, 30 seconds holding my son close, I realized that things were changing between us. But I wasn't sure if I was ready for what that 377 minutes, 37 seconds meant. And this only felt like the next morning came too quickly. The early sunlight creeping through the curtains. 457 minutes, 45 seconds, and waking me before I was ready to face the day. Jimmy was still asleep beside me, his face peaceful. The tension that 7,537 minutes, 7:53 seconds had weighed him down the night before, now gone. I watched him for a moment, my heart swelling with a familiar warmth of maternal love. But underneath it, 8,028 minutes, 2 seconds, something else lingered. It was that same feeling I had tried to push away the night before. The feeling I couldn't 8,108 minutes, 10 seconds quite name. I slipped out of bed quietly, not wanting to wake him, and headed downstairs to make breakfast as I ate 178 minutes, 17 seconds stood at the IE stove flipping pancakes. My mind wandered back to the conversation we'd had in the middle of the night. 8:58 minutes, 25 seconds. Jimmy had always been sensitive, but I hadn't realized just how much he had internalized about his father's departure. The guilt, 8,338 minutes, 33 seconds he felt was something. I should have seen earlier, and the fact that he hadn't shared it with me until now weighed heavily on my heart. But there 8,418 minutes, 41 seconds was more to it than that. There was a shift in the way he had looked at me last night. The way he had sought 8,488 minutes, 48 seconds, comfort in my arms. It was as if he had crossed a line between meeting me as his mother and seeking something, or 8,558 minutes, 55 seconds, something closer, deeper. And the truth was, I had felt it. The warmth that spread through me when I held him the 9,039 minutes, 3 seconds way his presence comforted me, wasn't just about maternal protection. It was something else. I shook the thought away, focusing on the cakes. He's just a boy. 9,129 minutes, 12 seconds. I reminded myself, your son. But no matter how much Tu tried to push it aside, the feeling lingered high me finally. 9,209 minutes, 20 seconds. Came downstairs, rubbing his eyes, his hair told from sleep, he looked more like a kid again, and that moment his linky 9,289 minutes, 28 seconds frame still adjusting to his teenage growth spurt, a smile trying to shake off the strange emotions from the night. 9,359 minutes, 35 seconds, before morning sleepyhead I greeted him. Sliding a plate of pancakes onto the table morning, he mumbled, sitting down, 9,439 minutes, 43 seconds, and digging into his breakfast. We ate in comfortable silence for a while, the sunlight streaming through the windows. 9,509 minutes, 50 seconds, casting the kitchen in a warm, golden glow. I could feel Jamie glancing at Menno. And then, but I didn't say 9,589 minutes, 58 seconds, anything. I wasn't ready to bring up the conversation from the night before. He seemed better this morning, more like 10:05, 10 minutes, 5 seconds himself, and I didn't want to stir up any lingering emotions unless he was ready. Finally, Jamie broke the silence. 10 minutes, 10.12 seconds. Thanks for last night, Mom. I needed that. I looked up at him, surprised by the sudden vulnerability in his voice. 10 minutes, 20 seconds, you.